Everyone, welcome to the lecture series of data compression. I am Preeti Garg, Assistant Professor, CSE Department at Kite Group of Institutions, and today we are going to discuss uniquely decodable codes. These are the contents which we are going to discuss in today's lecture. First, we will discuss what is coding, then an introduction to uniquely decodable codes. After that, we will study the algorithm through which we will find whether a code is uniquely decodable or not. And we will implement that algorithm on some examples. I have given here some practice questions for you so that you can try it by your own, and then references. So let's discuss first what is coding. So coding is assigning a binary sequence to any alphabet. For example, I have an alphabet A and I am giving a code 01 to it, right? So the 01 is known as the code and this process is known as coding, right? Then, so here let A is my alphabet and I am giving a binary sequence 0101 to it. So this process is known as coding, and this particular word, this is known as the code given to the alphabet A. Okay, then third point is the code word. So let we have a sequence of letters. Let we have letters A, B and C, and we have given a code 01 to A, some code 11 to B, and a code 110 to the letter C. So the individual code given to a particular letter is known as the code word. So we can say 01 is the code word of letter A, and these A, B, C, the collection of these letters is known as the alphabet. So here A, B, C are the alphabet. Individually A is a letter, 01, 11 and 10 are the code words given to a particular letter. Okay, so now we will discuss what is uniquely decodable codes. Okay, so whenever we perform the coding or whenever we give a binary sequence to an alphabet, so we mainly focus on the average length of the code. So if a code has an average length 11 and a second code has an average length 15, we generally say that the code which has an average length 11 is good. But this is not the only criteria which we can see here. Okay, so we cannot say that the code word which has an average length 11 is good. The code which we have given, it should not have any ambiguity also. It should not be ambiguous. So a code which is ambiguous free, which we can uniquely decode, is known as uniquely decodable code. Okay, so the sequence of codes which we can decode it only in a single manner is known as uniquely decodable code. Let's discuss it with the help of an example. See here, this is an example in which we are going to find whether the codes given to the letter A1, A2, A3, these are the uniquely decodable or not. So we have the letters A1, A2, A3 here, and the code words given. A1 has a code word 0, A2 has a code word 1 and A3 has a code word 10, and we want to decode this string. So here we will check whether this code is uniquely decodable or not. So you can see here 1 is for A2, so I can write here A2. Then 0 is for A1, so I can write here A1. Then again 1, 0, we can see it 10 is for A3 also, so I can write it like A3, 10. Then 0 is for A1 and again 0 is for A1. So this string we have decoded it like A2, A1, A3, A1 and A1. Now we will check, can we decode it in another manner also? So let's see, this was my string. Firstly, I have chosen 1 for A2. You can see here I have 10 also. 10 is for A3, so I can write A3 also here. And 10, here I have one more option, I can write it A2, and for 0 I can write A1. for 0 again A1, for 0 again A1. So you can see this one string can be decoded in two manners, or you can decode it in n number of manners. You can see here another code word will be A3, then 10 again is for A3, then A1 A1. So one string we can decode in three manners here. So you can say it is not uniquely decodable. For a person A, the message can be this one. For a person B, the message can be this one. And for a person C, message can be this one. So you can see here the meaning of the message is changed here. So the code is not uniquely decodable. Let's see one more example. Now we have the letters A1, A2, A3 and the code words. For A1 code word is 0, for A2 it is 10, for A3 it is 110. Now we are decoding this string. So see here 10 we have a string starting from 1. So here A2 is starting from 1 and A3. Then after 1 I have 0. So I can only decode it using A2. Now after this I have 10 again I can decode it using A2 only. Then 0 only one letter is starting from 0, that is A1, and for 0 it is again A1. Is there any another way to decode it? No. You can decode it in a single one manner. A2, A2, A1, A1. There is no other decoded code word for it, right? This code word can be decoded only using letters A2, A2, A1, A1. So you can say this is uniquely decodable. So I think now you got the idea what is uniquely decodable. So let's move further. We will discuss the formal way through which we will find whether a code word is uniquely decodable or not. Okay. So for this, first we have to define two terms. In this algorithm we are going to use two terms. First is prefix, second is dangling suffix. So what is prefix? So let's see this example. I have two letters A and B. So you can see here the letter A 01 is coded using 01001. In B it is also starting from 01001. So I can write here A. So if the first k bits of a code B, for code B, first k bits you can see here, we can decode it like A. So we can say A is prefix of B because B is made up of A plus some other strings, and these remaining strings, these 4 string 1001, this is known as dangling suffix. So if the first k bits of a code B is exactly equal to some other code word, then we will say that code word A is prefix of code word B, and the remaining bits will be known as the dangling suffix. So we are going to use these two parameters or these two terms in our algorithm to check whether a code word is uniquely decodable or not. Okay, so we can say this is a formal way to find. Okay, so let's move to the algorithm now. So this is the algorithm. In this step 1, what we will do, first we will group all the code words. Like here we were having a code word 1, 10, 111. So we will group all these code words. And step 2, if no prefix found, in the previous example we have seen how to check if a code word is prefix of some other code word. So if no prefix found, then the code word is uniquely decodable. But if we got some prefix, then we will add the dangling suffix in the code word itself. Like here 1 is prefix of this code word 10. So 1, this code word, if I am saying it A, this is B, C, you can say A is prefix of B, and here dangling suffix will be 0 only, right? So in the code word I will add 0 also. Okay, now step 3, if this dangling suffix 0, if it is equals to some code word present in the set. So for example, if I have a 0 here in the code word itself, then this code is not uniquely decodable. Else, for all, we will do the same process for all dangling suffix, and if we don't get any dangling suffix equals to the code word, then we will say that code is uniquely decodable. So let me discuss it again. First, we will group all the code words. Then we will found if there is no code word which is prefix of another code word, then we will say it is uniquely decodable. And if we code a prefix, then we will add the dangling suffix in the code word itself. Then after this, if a dangling suffix is equals to the some code word present in the set, then the code word is not uniquely decodable, otherwise the code word is uniquely decodable. So let's move to the example from which you will get a clear idea. So we have to find whether the following code is uniquely decodable or not. Okay, so these are the letters and the code word. So first what we will do this step 1. We will group all the code words here. So we have 0, 1, 0, 1 and 1, 1. Step 2, we will check if our code word is prefix of another code word or not. So check it for 0. Is 0 prefix of any other code word here? Is 0 prefix of 1? No. 0 is prefix of 0? Yes. We got here 0 is prefix of code word 0, 1. So we have to check the else condition. 0. So remaining dangling suffix is 1. So we will add 1 in the code word. So this is my code word and I will add the dangling suffix here. You can check here this dangling suffix according to step 3. This dangling suffix 1 is equals to some code word present in the set. So we don't need to go further, or we don't need to check it for code word 1 for another code words. From the code word 0 itself we got here that a dangling suffix is equals to some code word present. So this code is not uniquely decodable. Okay, not uniquely decodable code. Right? Now we are doing it for another example. This is our second example. Again we have to check whether the following code is uniquely decodable or not. Okay, so first we will do this step 1. Step 1 is to group all the code words. So I am grouping here 0, 1, 0, 111 and 110 and 111. Now step 2, check if a code word is prefix of another code word. So check for 0. Is 0 prefix of another code word? 10? No. 110? No. 111? No. So go it for 10. Is 10 prefix of some code word? So you can check here, no code word is starting from 10. Right? So 10 is also not prefix. Then check for 110. Again 110, no code word is starting from 110. So 110 is also not a prefix of any code word. Then 111, again 111 is not prefix of any code word. Right? Prefix means no code word in the set is starting from 111. So no prefix found here. No prefix found. So you can say this code is uniquely decodable code. Okay, so this is the formal method through which you can check if a code word is uniquely decodable or not. Okay, so these are some of the practice questions which you can practice by your own. These are the pre-university questions. You can check the same algorithm for these code words for question number A, B, C and D and check by your own which code words are uniquely decodable or not. So these are the references of this presentation. Thank you everyone.